Hello Indie Warriors, and welcome to I Dream of Indie Games. My name is Old Gamer Joe, and today we're taking a special look at an upcoming indie release from Dream Foundry Games. It's a roguelike RPG, and it's called Shadows of Wyrmwood, launching on the Steam PC platform this April 2025. You can wishlist the game right now using the link in our description box below, and on that same Steam page you'll be able to check out this very demo that we're discussing today and decide what you think of it. Before diving into the details about Shadows of Wyrmwood, I'd like to extend a special thank you to Dream Foundry Games for sponsoring this video. Yes, this video is indeed sponsored, but that will not impact any of our opinions or views on our experience with this demo. So with all of that said, let's get into what Shadows of Wyrmwood is all about. Right, so Shadows of Wyrmwood, as I mentioned in the intro, is a roguelike RPG that focuses almost entirely on a turn-based combat engine rather than featuring a massive overworld to explore or dungeons to conquer. The game offers a main adventure mode where you'll attempt to survive a run for as long as possible, alongside a daily challenge to partake in. It also appears that tournaments will be available at some point, though they are not included in this particular demo. Starting out, players will notice the presence of a difficulty slider, which is always a welcome feature. This allows you to adjust the challenge level on a 0 to 10 scale, making it either easier or more difficult depending on your preference for each new run. Additionally, you'll have the opportunity to create and customize a character to your liking. Players can choose cosmetic items such as new helmets, boots, weapons, facial features, and of course, some groovy hairstyles. There's a decent amount of options here, and you can even randomize your character if you wish. In this demo, there's not much story to dive into just yet anyways. All we're told is that a great darkness is infecting the world of Wyrmwood, and it's up to your hero to stop this evil and save the world from certain doom. A new run begins with you receiving a loot box, providing the basics for survival as you embark on your quest. You can choose between weapons such as magical staves or axes, with your weapon of choice determining the abilities that you'll have on that run. Additionally, players can equip a shield, various types of different armor, magical scrolls, and even relics to aid them on their journey. After choosing your equipment, it's time to set out on that journey, which is laid out on a very basic map with various paths to select from. As you might expect, more difficult paths offer the potential for greater treasures if you are successful in battle. Along the way, you'll occasionally stumble upon shops where you can purchase new weapons and upgrades using gold that you've collected in your battles. You might also come across treasure chests holding additional loot. Once you've made your selection on the map, it's time for some turn-based battles, my favorite. You know, growing up, I was a huge RPG player. I loved games like Final Fantasy 4, 5, 6, basically a Final Fantasy kid at heart. So turn-based combat always has a special place with me. Anyways, I could go on about my own childhood forever, but let's not do that. Combat is fairly straightforward. You have an energy bar that refills to 4 at the start of each new turn. You'll need to spend these points strategically to cast spells or change up your equipment. Keep an eye on your health bar too, of course. If it reaches 0, you're dead. However, you do have the opportunity to revive yourself one time, giving you a second chance at that battle. Mercifully, your health will be restored should you successfully defeat your enemy. Now, the game does allow you to see your opponent's upcoming moves, whether they're going to perform a defensive action or attack you directly. This foresight enables you to plan your moves strategically, deciding whether to take a defensive or offensive approach on your turn. Your main actions are going to be fairly basic. You have a standard attack, defensive block, magical spell, and the ability to rejuvenate, making the combat very simplistic and accessible for just about any player. If, for example, you notice that an enemy is all buffed up or you've been debuffed, you'll have a better idea of how to proceed in combat. It's a very simple system that even your average RPG player will be able to pick up in no time flat. So if you're looking for deeper combat mechanics, this probably won't be the game for you, but if you like your games nice and easy to understand, well then, here you go. And this is more or less how Shadows of Wyrmwood plays out. You go from battle to battle, defeating foes, and collecting better loot and abilities, all while heading towards a boss that you'll need to conquer to advance to the next map. This game doesn't require all that much thought, making it perfect for someone that's just looking to chill out, relax, and not feel overwhelmed by the deep and intricate RPG elements that so many other games tend to have. There's almost a bit of a mobile feel to the game, though I don't mean that in a demeaning way at all. Rather, it has a simple pick-up-and-play approach that works very well in short bursts. That said, the adventure mode, which definitely seems to be the main focus here, provided plenty of challenge in my experience, even at lower difficulty levels. Shadows of Wyrmwood is far from a walk in the park. You can't just mindlessly click away hoping for success. A decent amount of strategy is required for how you approach each combat situation. The daily challenges ramp up the difficulty even further, introducing certain handicaps that make your battles all that much more challenging. From a visual standpoint, the game features a basic 3D polygonal style reminiscent of the PS1 era of gaming. The simple character models, scrolling backgrounds, and enemy designs do all feel rather generic, with the game not doing much to stand out visually within the genre. The menus are also fairly standard, though perfectly legible, which is always a plus. The animations are decent, and overall, the game looks pleasant enough even if I wished it had done a bit more to establish a unique visual identity. And I would say the same could be said for the sound design, which is quite standard. The sound effects are fitting, though not exceptional, while the soundtrack sets a nice backdrop for the action. The orchestrated compositions give off a tranquil fantasy vibe that fits well with the game's world. Overall, Shadows of Wyrmwood could do more to establish a unique visual and auditory identity, but what's here is perfectly acceptable. All told, Shadows of Wyrmwood seems on track to offer accessible fantasy RPG gameplay that might be too simplistic for hardcore RPG fans, but should fit the bill for those who enjoy a dive-in, dive-out type of experience. Its systems are very easy to wrap your head around, and I look forward to seeing the game's progress leading up to its April release date. I would like to see the story get a little bit more fleshed out. I'd love for the game to not look quite as generic as it does, and same for some of the sound effects and such. But overall, there's good bones here, it's a decent structure, it's easy for anyone to pick up and play, and I had a pretty decent time with this demo. So, if you are interested in trying Shadows of Wyrmwood for yourself, the demo is available right now for you to enjoy. Use the link in our description box below, and be sure to wishlist the game if it piques your interest while you're over on that Steam page. Once again, a very special thank you to Dream Foundry Games for sponsoring this video. We'll see you back here at I Dream of Indie Games soon for more great indie gaming goodness. Voice to the voiceless, and take care of one another. For far too long, you, the gamer, have been denied honest gaming coverage. Indie developers and publishers have lost their voice, but no longer. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and head over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames to join this epic campaign for indie visibility. The echo chamber trembles as our message grows louder. Voice to the voiceless.